My thoughts on Alien Romulus. Was it the best Alien movie ever? No. Was it a decent Alien movie? Compared to what we've been getting over the last 10 years? 12 years? Yes. Was it the worst Alien movie ever? Not even close. Not even close. Alien Resurrection still wins worst Alien movie ever. Alien Resurrection. Back in a bit. Sounds good, Sophia. Is it good as a standalone? Ooh, and thank you for the hydrate. I think the issue with Alien Romulus is that if it's just a movie that just so happens to take place in the Alien universe, that's fine. But it also comes with caveats, such as I don't need to be reminded that the Nostromo, the original ship in the 1979 film, blew up. I don't need to be reminded of that, but I am. Multiple times. I also don't need to be reminded of pulse rifles, even though I am, multiple times. I don't need to be reminded of Ash from the original Alien, although I am, multiple times. I don't need basically a rework of the end of Alien Resurrection, but that's exactly what we get. See the problem? I think they relied too much on too many things that, out of context, aren't good. Now, it's a fine movie, right? If you want to take it as just this is a fun movie, there's nothing really wrong with it, right? It's not crap like Alien Resurrection. It's not absolute dog shit like AVP or AVP Requiem. It's not confusing and long and drawn out like Prometheus and then Alien Covenant, which both led to a whole lot of nothing, right? But my thing is, make it your own thing. What's the best way to get out of jury duty? That's a good question. I don't know. I've never actually had jury duty. moving soon-ish and don't want to deal with this shit, be honest. That's what I try and tell them. Say, hey, listen, you know, I'm actually moving very, very, very soon. This interferes with plans or something to that extent. Because they want somebody who's going to be able to be there for a while. They don't want somebody who's going to be in a hurry all the time. Even if it's moving to another state. Same thing. They want somebody who's going to be there, right? They don't want somebody who's going to be worried about other shit. Not country, just different city within the same state, not selling our house. Well, I mean, you live in Texas, so it might as well be another state that you're moving to anyway, right? Okay, I saw country too. Don't worry about it. Mental illness, they exempt you here. My PTSD and stuff frees me from jury. No shit. So I can't say I'm no longer a resident of my county name. Yeah, I just tell them that you're in the process of moving. I wouldn't even give them any more information than that. Just tell them, listen, I'm in the process of moving. I can't do this right now. See what they say. If you're not stressed out enough, yeah. And rant. No, I get it. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts, right? On Alien Romulus. It's not that it's a terrible movie, but they need to stop relying on things that are not their own ideas. Right? I don't need to be reminded of, hey, don't you remember Alien? Hey, don't you remember the pulse rifles from Aliens? Hey, don't you remember the end of Alien Resurrection? Hey, don't you remember Ripley when she was in her gray overalls and her gray t-shirt and was carrying a pulse rifle at the end of Aliens? Hey, don't you remember Facehuggers? Hey, don't you remember the, you know, what they call Big Chap from the original Alien? Hey, don't you remember Ash? Hey, don't you remember androids or synthetics or artificial people? Hey, don't you remember the line, get away from her, you bitch? Hey, don't, like, it just keeps doing that over and over and over and over and over again. Right? If you want a movie and you want the movie to be more successful than just a schlock horror movie, then come up with your own fucking original ideas. If you can't, then make Alien Romulus and you'll get a 6, maybe a 7. Because for me, I'm looking at like 6.5 out of 6.5, maybe a 7 out of 10. Is it a terrible movie? No. Is it something that I would pop in if I'm bored? Sure. Is it a movie I'm going to go out of my way to watch when I want to watch an Alien movie? No thanks, I'll stick with the original 3. That's how I look at it. It keeps reusing, is that the problem? It's always the problem. It's always the problem. And then the other issue that I have with it is the way that the story is told in terms of pacing, right? One thing that I will always give Prometheus and that I will always give Alien Covenant is that it follows a very clear way of telling alien stories minus Alien Resurrection, right? So you have things at the beginning, things are allowed to breathe, and then something insanely bad happens, right? That you're not prepared for. And then it takes off. And you're going, okay, everything up to this point that was kind of slow was 100% worth it. But that's not how it works in Alien Romulus. In Alien Romulus, it's things get beefed up a little more, 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 and so on until you get to like the last 20 minutes of the fucking movie and then something really bad happens. Right? The pacing was very, 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 in my opinion, cookie cutter. You could have taken any director and put them in there and it wouldn't have mattered. There was nothing special about it. Like, for instance, Prometheus, right? What happens with Prometheus? You have two massive, massive things that happen in Prometheus, right? In terms of really bad shit. Right? You got you got what's-her-name's husband that gets infected, and he puts himself in a spacesuit, runs outside, and then they have to light him on fire because he's in so much pain and because he wants to die, and he's doing everything he can to make sure that they kill him. And then you have the C-section scene. What happens in Alien Covenant? You have the Bambi burster and you have the back burster. And those are like one right after another, and you're going, oh shit, okay, that's how this movie's gonna go. And you are locked in. Whether the movie sucks or not, you're still locked in. You do not get that with Alien Romulus. Alpa, what's going on, buddy? How you doing? With Alien Romulus, you could have quite literally had any director or every director work on it, and because the way that the story is told is so cookie cutter, it doesn't matter. Any director could have done that with their eyes closed. Which one is better, Prometheus or Covenant? I would say Prometheus is better, but Covenant is still worth a watch, even though it's not necessarily the best Alien movie, only because it continues things on. I might not necessarily like the direction that they took, but it continuity-wise, it still works. But Romulus itself as a standalone movie, it's alright. Not something I'm going to go out of my way to watch again. Yeah, it's not terrible. The story's okay. The way that the story's told is very cookie cutter. It's okay. And they didn't have enough of an original idea, unfortunately, and this is where it suffers the most, is that they didn't have enough of an original idea to make the story wholly theirs. That's the issue. So I'd put it as a 6.5 or a 7. It's not terrible. I'd watch it again if I was bored, but I'm sure as hell not going out of my way to watch it again.